from the television service of Today Liberia. My name is Thomas Blackswa, and a blessed way to welcome you to another edition of the program, The Real Issues. And today's the 2nd of February 2023, and I'm here with my colleague Jay Cassius Biwieto, and a couple of issues we'll be looking at today. So we like to say just hit a share button and be able to, tag other friends into this identical podcast so that they can also follow. So let's do this in a couple of minutes, maybe in 1 or 2 minutes, so that we can be able to reach more people who will follow this show today. So let's take this break. When we come back, we dive into our discussion, and we will go to Cassius, who will be setting for the timeline for our discussions today. So to serve you breakfast, we are here set and prepare for today's edition of the program, The Real Issues. So let's go back and take a break. Welcome back to Today Liberia Television, and this is your most fascinating program. It's called The Real Issues, and we come to you every Mondays to Friday, and today's Thursday, the 2nd of February 2022. So let me now welcome my colleague Jay Cassius. We are to he call himself the veteran to lay forth the basis. Cassius, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Napilas, and welcome. Those of you watching us from Liberia, other part of our West African country as well. Good afternoon, good morning to all of you that are watching us from the diaspora and other part of the world. I'd like to say good evening as well. It's a wonderful day today, that having to be the 2nd of February, in the second month. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have the 2nd of February to be my wife to be birthday. She's K Desired Wivard, a very decent Lover County woman there, who is my wife to be. So I like to say happy birthday to her, and our cakes. I also wishing her happy birthday as well. Today is a wonderful day. I like to appreciate those of you just joining us. Let's get a share. And your views and comments are very key on this premium platform, Today Liberia. We're going to be looking at the segment by segment, the president annual message, the theory discussion where the EFFL had a press conference and a press statement. The also discussed some key things within the press statement. The words, those jargons used by the president is something that it was just something to say, but it did not forward the interest of the Liberian people and the country as well. So we're going to be bringing you up to speed on that. That is the CRC of the EFFL, the Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia, Emmanuel Gongwe, was there speaking yesterday in a press release. So we're going to be bringing up to speed, and some of the aspects there. Our assets going to be coming out as well on our screen on Today Liberia Television. Jay Cassius is my name. On the Real Issues, we are here. Thomas and I having some great collabo here on the Real Issues that comes your way every Monday to Friday. And today is the Thursday edition. That happens to be the 2nd day of the 2nd month of the year 2023. So we're also going to be diving into the Western clusters. The Western clusters deal, as you may be aware, is a deal that have been bringing serious hallo-ballo in Liberia. In the western, some part of Liberia that having to be the Bomi County, the Kidmont, alongside even the Maserati as well, because the old, the like Maserati senators, the two senators were very irritated, and they said if they having to give a command to their citizens, out of the oaths that is coming from Western cluster will never pass in Maserati. So Maserati have become the hub of those oaths. Even the same thing with Asina Meta. Asina Meta will pass through Maserati as well. The same thing with other companies. So indeed, Maserati content becomes the hub, and they are also yet to benefit. So the Western cluster deal will be coming out as well on the real issues discussion. We like to say this is what we have on our menu and our plate for today's discussion. Let's participate with us, those of you watching us. Your views, your comments are very key and paramount to us here on this premium platform. We are the first in news and best in entertainment. Those of you watching us, this is the real issues. So our first discussion is going to be the EFFL discussion. The EFFL on yesterday had a press statement. The press statement was very in the way that the CRC said the president just said things without doing them. So they are disappointed within the president, saying things without doing them. So the CRC of the economic freedom fighter Emmanuel Gonkwe, who read the press statement, got annoyed with that, and they called with this statement used by the president. So based upon that, they thought it was to address the nation, to have a press release. So we're going to bring you the press release. By the reading of the press release, we're going to bring it to you as well, and some statement. So we're going to forward the press release to our chief technician there, to bring you the press release as well. So our chief technician, and I believe you have seen the press release, and if that can be visible to the audience, we would really appreciate that. And this press release was something that Emmanuel Gonkwe had on the 1st of February, on yesterday, around the Congo Town Bell. Official press release of the Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia, EFFL, the annual message of the President of Liberia. So something he said is that the President message typically include a budget message, and then he also stressed keenly on foreseeing the Central Bank of Liberia being carried at CDC party headquarters. Why he says so? It is because the activities of the CDC-led government now is almost like it's at the party headquarters. There's something he said where even the, how do we call it, the 1 million citizen, it's like, how do we call it? He's raising 1 million citizen to petition the president on the 4th. That will be this coming Saturday. Something he said is that the president have taken all of the activities from the various places and they carry to the party headquarters. More especially the dishing of monies, the thousands note. You're going to see it as soon as possible at the party headquarters. He said the central bank governor going to be having a ball at the party headquarters where the president will be mandating them, because the citizens of the country are not benefiting those things, but the seditions, government officials who feel they are in the land of the president, they are benefiting, and then they are taking mandate from the president of the Republic of Liberia. So the press statement was released by Emmanuel Gonkwe. I don't know as to whether that can be on the screen for
can't bring that.
our audience.
It's not really aligned. So
Okay, because for some technical reasons, we like to apologize to you for that. So we also like to bring you the essence of that, if that is possible.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we take a break and bring the essence to you. From there, we dive into a little bit of discussion on the EFFL this press release. Yeah.
Members of the Pope Estates.
So I'd like to say welcome back again. So the answer is there. Let's listen to that keynote where the CRC of the Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia, EFFL,
Respond as part of our tradition.
reading the press statement and giving some warning
Unsophisticated
to
statement released
our government officials and that of the president of the Republic of Liberia as
by
well.
George Manneh Weah as president of our nation to the national legislature. Fellow citizens, as we gather, we can all say that Liberia witnessed a sad event on Monday, when the man who should be the president of our country took the podium to utter an unrealistic expressions about what is happening in our country when he delivered what he called the State of the Nation address. The Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia believe that the President's State of the Nation address was unrealistic expressions and a disjointed logic uttered at a state-style funeral service for a man who committed genocide in our country. We believe the occurrences at the legislature by men and women from the CDC who became a cheering scribe at the national legislature were no other event but a state funeral that engulfed our nation. And we believe that theater, that should be a theater of gathered men and women who believe in the interests of our country, should not be abused, and it has been consistently abused by George Manneh Weah as president of our nation. Fellow citizens, we are aware that the event that occurred on Monday is a constitutional requirement for any president. But regrettably, we have a president who chose to marinate at that event instead of giving a practical, all realistic presentation of what is happening in our country. The president informed the country that his economy is doing well. What a myth. What data informed the president's position that our economy is doing well? Is the president relying on the imperialist analysis from the IMF that states that the government is doing well? What informed the IMF decision? When hundreds of our people are going to bed without food, when millions of our children are going to bed without food, when mothers in this country cannot take their children to hospitals, when fathers cannot even afford to send their kids to school? What informed the president's decision to say that the economy is doing well? We believe that the president's declaration that the country's economy is performing is devilish in nature and unpatriotic at the high core. And that statement should have been resisted by men and women at the legislature who consider themselves the representative of the people. To watch the president make such utterances at the legislature without a swift rebuttal from men and women who should be questioning the president of some of the things he said at the legislature, we believe that situation rendered the national legislature and the event that occurred at the national legislature as a state funeral. Fellow citizens, members of the media, the president, again, without even giving us an empirical data about how the economy is performing, knowing fully well that the agricultural sector should be a bedrock of the economy, the president did not provide any scientific data to show to us, Liberians and the international partner, that they have succeeded in creating jobs using the agricultural sector. So we are baffled by the president's pronouncement that the economy is doing well without providing us any data. The Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia believe that the president's statement, again, was a devilish one and require state resistance for men and women who are representative of the people in the national legislature. Fellow citizens, members of the press, religious leaders, the student bodies of our country, the president spoke about fighting corruptions. We heard that message once again coming from a loose talker who should be a president. The president was loosely in his statements when he said that his government is fighting corruption. Of recent, the United States government sanctioned 3 of the president's close allies up to today because the president is in consistent fear that those who, the United States government sanctions will come after the president if he does not protect them. The president is on record of using state money to finance these government officials to run for office. How then can the president, in his narrow minds and limited understanding of global events, take the podium at the national legislature to say that his government is fighting corruption? What informed? What provides the president with such courage to stand before the people representative to say that his government is fighting corruption? When in fact, a reason, the president and the rest of the other people butchered the Liberian Constitution to weaken the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. When in fact, the Supreme Court, that should be the foundation of our judicial system, is being bankrolled to undermine
Economic freedom fighter having such press statement, and the CRC of the economic freedom fighter listed few counts of the president of the Republic of Liberia in his annual message that is not going down well with the country, that is not going down well with the citizens of the country. So CRC Emmanuel Gonkwe of the Economic Freedom Fighter spoke on that. He even spoke of the Central Bank of Liberia in a few days from now will be carried away at the political party headquarters because something he called the dish of money. We're going to be seeing these things, as he said. those things going to happen, and some of them going to be at various political party headquarters, not in the CDC, because I believe in my own right mind. I see not only CDC workers are working at the central bank. So like I listen to it clip on Cool that says what we do here at the central bank, we are living by the president mandate. This list is a purple list. It's a very long list. So indeed, we're going to experience that. That I believe that clip came out in 2018 after the president took power. But this is what Emmanuel Gonkwe and his team said into the press statement on yesterday. So Emmanuel Gonkwe is the CRC of the Economic Freedom Fighter. Those of you watching, I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us on Today Liberia. About that too is watching us from Fennia campus. I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us for the very best this premium platform have to offer you. We are the first in news and best entertainment. Those of you watching us from across Liberia as well, we'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's on Jay Cassius and Thomas presentation here on the real issues on TLTV, the Today Liberia television. So we coming live to you from our head office here in Puebla Supermarket, where we are pretty seated in our towards a turn, making sure to bring you out of the happiness around our country, and to beautify our country with information that's best suited for the nation as well. The EFFL Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia have that press statement on yesterday. Austin, one of our regular viewers and follower, Austin D. Akwe Sion is watching us from Minnesota, USA. I like to say many things and keep watching for the very best. George Robertson is also one of our from Accra, Ghana, one of our regular viewers and follower of the program, the real issues, and Today Liberia television as well. I like to say kudos to all of you there watching us. Thomas, what could be your own intake on the press statement from the EFFL?
Well, thank you, Cassius. But these guys and other political institutions, like the opposition plans, have all been saying the same thing, literally, because we look at the president's annual address or his message, notice that there has been a lot of issues that have been contradicted. There have been a lot of issues that have not been factual in this State of the Nation address. Imagine the president raising the issue of something less than half 1 kilometer in the president project, State of the Nation address as an achievement. Like the house that leads to the speaker, the road that leads to the speaker's house. Imagine that. All of those things are stated. And there are key issues the president failed to tell us. He did not tell us exactly what those findings are, and only to just state them and then go through. But he did not tell us what is actually within them. He boasted of creating jobs. He boasted of, paying wax fees for students. Those are all good achievements. But have the real issues been touched? The key issues that Nigerians want to know, have they been touched? What's wrong with the money that we talk about? Imagine $1,000 note is out. We don't know where that money.
Just imagine the senators are saying the $1,000 note is out, and they are saying they haven't seen it, but it's in the world market.
It's on the market already.
So they are saying it's on the market, and I managed to do my own research yesterday and went to the bureau, and the fellow said, yeah, but it's something that I even been giving it out. Somebody came to buy it here. So it was confirmed on my own fact finding on yesterday that money is out, the $1,000 note. But just imagine the senators are saying they are not aware of it. So indeed, this is the country we have, and this is where we belong. Also on the issues of this EFFL statement, they've expressed disappointment, very disappointment in the legislator, because they believe the legislator is supposed to chastise the government, chastise the president. They have the power. But Emmanuel Gonkwe, who is the head of the EFFL, the Economic Freedom Fighter, said those powers have been limited. What you think could be the reasons of that?
Well, Cassius, the first thing, if people think that they are elected to serve the party and not to serve the people who elected them, but they feel they can run everything based on party mandate or party line, this is what happens. Let me tell you, there are other places, as you are giving your address, that is already in the hands of people. They want to be able to make sure that what you are speaking of is true. So they start to checkmate you right there. But you notice how people will only go down there just to listen. So as a result, they have nothing to say. Unless after that, down to the opposition bloc, it was after that, almost like 18 hours after the State of the Nation address, before they started coming up with reports, or some took 15 hours. Imagine that. My brother, let me tell you, everyone should be able to have access to those documents. They are public documents. These things are public documents. They are not private. So definitely, when you are telling people this is what you achieve over the years, people should be able to see them. We should be able to see these things visible to us. But nothing. So they could not report anything because they don't have any document to substantiate their claims. It was only Honorable Yaka Kolba who threatened, before even the president who mount the stage to deliver his address. He told people that was not a cheering squad. That place did not belong to a cheering squad. So, and he stood by his words. After they chaired the president, he came, he chaired the opposition bloc. That was the only thing he could do. But even he had nothing, no clue. So they were only seated and just listening. So it was almost like a movie. That was how it was like.
So T. Kelvin Shelton is watching us from Gantor City. Many thanks for watching us, Shelton. Let's get a share. Let's get your participation as well. 9:30 we're going to draw the curtain on this discussion and move into our next talking point. So we have 2 minutes to go on the EFFL discussion. The EFFL they were very harsh into their statement.
So they have always been.
He also said he believed that this is a constitutional mandate.
It is.
But he expressed great dissatisfaction over the way the president proceeded in delivering his speech. Gongwe also said it was unrealistic. He said this identical speech of the president was very unrealistic. We expect all of these things to come out. Not everybody will praise you. No political party will go for a critique and then you expect praises. But then one thing we also supposed to know is that they are doing that to put their feet to the fire. That you will do the referral thing for the Liberian people. Even yesterday, the Ministry of Information also had a press statement. They had a press conference and they released a statement, very harsh on Alexander Cummings' statement that he used on the president as well. So we're going to leave it at that. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the Western Cluster deal. Let's get your participation. Austin Akwede is saying, I don't really understand why the government want to always bring new money. This is it. In fact, the on the money issues, the central bank, one of the head of central bank was on the radio yesterday, on the state radio, and said if there is a need for 1,000 and above to come out, that will come out. The 500,000. They said so. This country coming to Nigeria, but we're going to leave it at that. We'll discuss that as a separate discussion. We will discuss that at the next part as a separate discussion on our platform. So let's take a break. When we come back, we dive into a Western Cluster deal, where we're going to be bringing all of the happenings on our Bombing County correspondent as well to give us some details on the Western Cluster deal. So let's take a break. When we come back, we dive into that.
Since that day, the moment and hour you came in my life, God, it has never been the same. Oh no, but you changed everything. Oh, and you blessed everything. Oh, I'm on your way. I pose, come and leave your voice.
So again, I'd like to say welcome. We are going into our Western Cluster deal. So very shortly, while we are in the conversation, our technician will bring you the information about the Western clusters and take away the economic freedom fighter information as well. So those of you watching us today, Liberia Television, let's now cross over to our Bomi County correspondent to bring us to speed some information about the Western cluster. Good morning.
Oh, a pleasant good morning, good afternoon, and good evening based on the respective location. And it's always my pleasure to having me on the show to discuss issues as it relates to Bomi County.
So how is Bomi County?
Well, Bomi is relatively calm this morning, and we are experiencing a brilliant sunshine. Everyone is on their normal business as a means of attaining their livelihood.
Gabriel, you care to tell us some detailed information about the Western Cluster deal and the Wahala within the Western clusters in Bomi County?
Well, since the inception of Western Cluster, somewhere around October of last year, there has been so many mixed reactions on the workings of Western Cluster. On some of the mixed reactions include the memorandum of understanding. There are some citizens who are saying they are yet to lay an eye on the memorandum of understanding and know what is standing to benefit while the company is operating in the county. And also there are some citizens again who are expressing a concern on the issue of Western Cluster when it comes to giving job opportunities to citizens or in the region. So there are so many mixed reactions, like I said. So series of meetings in the past has been held, where county officials will be called or were being called in those meetings to give some understandings or scope when it comes to the workings of Western Cluster in the county. So of all of these meetings, what is proving here that some citizens are still not satisfied when it comes to the operation of Western Cluster in the region. So of recent, some group calling themselves, the concerned citizens of Bomi on the 31st of January, filed a writ of prohibition to stop the ongoing operation of Western Cluster Limited in Tottenham, Bomi County. Before the full bench of the Supreme Court. Some of their concerns, are just indicated, like the Western Cluster failure to publish the memorandum of understanding, so citizens can get to understand what it stands to benefit some of those social corporate responsibility. That the company needs to take in order for citizens to benefit and also job creation. So they filed in this writ of prohibition and it's currently before the full bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia.
So we are also told that the writ was also supported by the former senator of Bomi County.
Yes, indeed. Former Senator Samuel Dazo Johnson is one of those strongest, citizens now in the county. According to him, he's calling for the right thing to be done. That the people of Bomi County, according to him, get to know the understanding and benefit from the workings of Western Cluster. He noted that going at those days when the Labrador Mining Company LMC was operating, and according to him, they left Bomi with so many holes. So today, Bomi is called Bomi Hole. So instead of that, he wants, but this time around, Western Cluster to leave some tangible, so that if their operation gets expired, citizens in the county can point out something tangible that yes, indeed, this is what Western Cluster did when they were operating once in the county.
What do you think are some of the motive behind this identity from the former senator? Jesus Christ. So let's establish contact with him back, and we're gonna join him back. We'd like to apologize to you. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will also bring you the final message there from Gabriel. Let's take a break to be back.
Yes, I'm getting you.
So we like to say sorry for never breaking transmission, but the question were, what are some of the motives behind this identical prohibition from the former senator?
Oh, like I said, he is considering himself as a concerned citizen now. So, I mean, according to him, he's no longer a lawmaker in the county, but a citizen in the county, a senior citizen in the county. So, the entire motives behind this is, I mean, according to him, because this was exactly a question I posed to him. He said it's vote of politics, but the right thing should be done. That his citizens in the county stand to benefit. Because mind you, we are in the election year, and this was exactly the question I posed to him.
Yeah,
I mean, saying to him that this is the political season, and one would think that you are entering into this because you have an intent of contesting. He said no, because he's a senior citizen and he wants for the citizen of Bomi to point at tangibles when the operation of Western Crossroad shall expire.
All right, many thanks to you. Is there anything that you want to touch on from the content that we didn't ask of?
Yeah, the issue of the president's recent State of the Nation address. I mean, it has been greeted with so many mixed reactions here in the county, where some citizens are against and some citizens also are in favor of the slogan that was delivered recently by President Weah. According to the citizens, some of them are saying, I mean, the president stated in his slogan that the economy is stable, but citizens are seeing it that is unstable because the prices of goods and services has gradually increasing in the county, especially the staple food, where again the president talked about, increasing the salary of civil servants. According to them, the president using that as a political trick. Some of these citizens noted that since the president took over, civil servants have been underpaid, but to come and say that, his government will in his coming days increase or work ensuring that the salaries of civil servants be increased. It's something they see as a political trick, and using the sonar to preach political message, where he noted at the climax of the sonar that he will be moving from town to town. There has been so many message action, while all are saying there is nothing in the constitution that prohibit the president from speaking to the people, especially saying that he will be coming to them from town to town, village to village. So the entire thing has been greeted with mixed reactions in the county here.
Thank you very much for talking to us on this premium platform.
It's my pleasure to always be on the show.
Thank you very much. He's our Bomi County correspondent, Gabriel Paco. Gabriel Paco is our Bomi County correspondent. He's always feeding up with information from Bomi County. I like to applaud him for such. Emmanuel V. Sensi of Gibi TV CEO is watching us from the Gibi TV office. I like to say many thanks. Keep watching us. Let's get some participation. The Western Cluster deal from Austin D. Acquisition. Something he said is that the citizens of Liberia will always have some bad feeling and conflict with many companies that come to the country. Why? Because the government need to know and see what these companies has done before signing any contract or documents for the operation for the operation anywhere in the country. He's our regular follow-up, and he always participates on this platform. He's Austin D. Aquation of Minnesota, right? Austin Aquate of Minnesota. So I'd like to say many thanks for your participation on our second talking point. The first talking point, you also participated positively, not those like Emmanuel V. Sensi, who will always come on the platform. It's good though to come on the platform and to share the fun. But I believe sometimes you participate as well with these things that we're discussing. So many thanks to Albert as well. Albert is always our regular listeners and our viewers and followers of the Premium platform. Big brother Emmett Hammond is also watching. I like to say kudos to you, big brother Emmett Hammond from Kakata, Magibi County. So Dakia's Nekab up Pelu is that Dukia's Nakadu Pelu?
Douglas
Nyekedo.
That's what he's in here.
Okay, I'm sorry because I'm not from there. So my own brother-in-law is also watching this show. He's Morris Brooks Zizi is also watching. I'd like to say many thanks for watching us on the Premium platform. The Real Issues is here to stay on Today Liberia Television. We are here every Monday to Friday discussing the real issues on the Premium platform like this. Brooks is watching us from Kakata, Magibi County. Many thanks. Your input, your comments are very key and paramount to us here. So this is it. We are discussing the Western Cluster deal. The Western Clusters deal have brought a hallo-ballo, what we call a very huge hallo-ballo in the context, in Bapolu County, the Bomi County as well. And on last week, the appearance of the three ministers, Minister of Finance, Minister of Justice, and Minister of Lands, Mines, and Energy, were also part at the Liberia Senate to ask why this Western Cluster deal is going the way it is proceeding. So the minister said, if when it comes to the money is available to be given into the county covered, and that the money issues raise a serious noise between Bapolu County, Mosuradi County, and Bomi County, because the money issues brought Mosuradi County in, where the senator said, not knowing that Mosuradi County is the hub of the iron ores. If their need cannot be placed on the identical budget to have it been distributed among the three counties instead of two, then that means they will block their railroads, they will block the roads, and the iron ores will not pass in Mosuradi County.
Cassius,
yeah,
you were right. This is the issue, right? When it comes to the affected counties, Mosuradi is going to be affected.
Of course, definitely, yes.
Very well, I wouldn't just pass. First thing, Bapolu is a landlord. Bomi is also a landlord county, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing is, Mosuradi here has access to the port, right?
Yeah.
So you are using their county to bring forth these iron ores for shipment.
Definitely.
If you even look at the solar metal, there are basically three counties that are benefiting, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lima County, where the ore is being mined. Bon County is also being used because it passes through.
Definitely. Because of the road.
That is the street number one currently. Mm-hmm. So the ore passes through there. The Zointa belt.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is Grand Bassor, which has the port of Buchanan. There where these things happen, right? So the three counties are placed on the affected communities, stuff. So they benefit. All of them get a share. They have their share. So why can't Mosuradi also benefit? Of
course, definitely Mosuradi have to benefit because they are saying they are the hub.
Yeah.
so when it comes to the MDN, they believe the agreement have to capture Mosuradi County. So the senator of Mosuradi County stood. Senator one of Mosuradi County is Senator Sir Joseph. Senator Sir Hali Joseph said, if this deal has been discussed and then we are not getting a benefit, then that means everything, the oil will be generated from there, but they will not pass through Maserati County. So he asked the minister why a DOP Prince update is watching us. They are saying they are relaying on their platform. I like to say many things and keep doing the best, because this is what we love, doing the best for the Liberian people. So the Western Cluster view, and it's raising a lot of it's bringing a lot of tension. It has been since October last year. Yes, since October last year and up to now. That has been something that we think that can be handled, and the only way that can be handled in our country is to do the right thing. But if they cannot do the right thing, then that means that will be a very condition that people will not understand. Austin is always with us. Austin is always with us. Many thanks, Austin, for your participation. Let's bring you the asset, and after the asset, we dive into more discussion, and your participation going to be on our screen as well, where we will be bringing all of the happiness. Let's bring you the assets from the Liberian Senate.
Yeah, I think the waiver was around that. Around 10 million.
10 million. So that means from 3 million that was to be paid.
That's correct.
Of that 3 million, how much has been paid?
The company has paid 5 million.
Okay, all right. So that means we owe about 8 million.
That is correct.
Is that what it means?
They paid 5 million.
Yes. So,
but it indicates that they also paid for the rehabilitation of the roads in the tune of 1.5 million.
Wait, leave me one thing.
That's nothing we paid.
So you say that they pay 1.5 million dollars for rehabilitation of the road. Was that part
No,
of
it was not part of the MOU, they were engaged afterwards.
Cassius, imagine the Justice Minister is playing with his nectar.
Come again.
The Justice Minister, just look at him. He's playing with his nectar.
Let me address the on the cover of the way the analysis was done by the LRA.
We are expressing some technical fault. So that have been resolved. Many thanks to our technician. Our DK technician are very swift to having everything being done here. So we like to say kudos to our DK technician. The Western Cluster deal, the Western Cluster discussion, the Western Cluster's wahala, as you may turn it, have raised a concern where even last week the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and the President of the Liberian Senate came. The guys that you seen, the first is the Minister of Finance, the second is the Minister of Mines, the second is the Minister of Justice, and the third, is the Minister of Justice, and the fourth is the NRC, the head of NRC. So the President of the Liberian Senate walked into the chambers and said, with the 4 government officials who were placed on an oath, who were placed on an oath to explain to the government or to explain to the citizens why the Western Cluster deal is going the way it is proceeding. She said publicly that the 4 beside the NRC boss will be taken for honor oath, but the rest of the 3, that is Minister Samuel Tuer, Minister Samuel Tuer of Finance, Minister Dexter Brown of Mines, the Minister of Justice, all of them going to be on an oath until they explain to the Liberian people why is it that the Western Cluster deal is going the way. So they remain on an oath. It was a very heated discussion in session. It was very heated, and the three of them left on an oath. Just imagine. Just the minister left on an oath and went home. But my concern here, Tomo, is that I did got so much concern about the oath because they take oath and they do the same thing. So I did so much concern about the oath that they will always take. Or is it a normal thing in Liberia just to take the oath and then go ahead and do what you feel you can do in your own right mind?
Cassius, you got me laughing, you know. The thing is, there's nothing serious about this to these guys, so it doesn't matter to them. Yeah, it doesn't matter to them. So they feel this is just some kind of, you know, unimportant thing or something that's not just real. Yeah, tell them, oh, they are going to stay on our oath. It's a normal thing to them. So, I mean, they're not afraid. They're not even looking at the implications of this. So, as far as they are concerned, that has nothing to do with them. So, they can go ahead and do anything they want to do. Cassius?
Because the vice president, Manajua Otero, was very, very swift to the matter. In fact, when she came, she just arrived, she did not sit. And she said, oh, you guys here, right? Among the four of you, only NRC is clear. You will be on an oath. You will be on an oath. Minister Tua, you will be on an oath. Minister Musa Din, you will be on an oath. And Minister Dexter Morris, I think Dexter Morris, yeah, you will leave on an oath. So the ministers will sometimes go at the legislature, and then they will go before the legislature, and they will take the oath. And sometimes they will say things on an oath, and the presiding will always say, remember you are on an oath. They will say yes, they are on an oath, and they say things that they feel that it will help them in the process, but not helping the country. So is the oath a major thing in our country? Because people take oath, and then they are not doing the thing that they're supposed to do in the interest of our country. Is the oath just a symbol to say yes? It's part of our legislative proceeding. It's part of that. So when these guys come, let's place them on an oath. But then, what are the implications? Placing somebody on an oath is very key, though. So if you are placing an individual, a minister, on an oath, they should have the conscious mind to think that this is our nation, and I'm serving. I should do the right thing.
Let me just put you there. That is like, you know, swearing, right?
Yeah.
Placing a person on an oath.
Because sometimes you say, so help me God.
Swearing. Yeah, so help me God. You are swearing. But then if the person don't even have the fear of God, that's the first thing. Do you expect them to take that serious? They don't care about it. It matters not to them. That's just a reality. It doesn't matter. The person take that to be a normal thing, a formality. They say, oh, just do it because, you know, it is this way. And after all, what else will you do to me? They got nothing to fear. Cassius? They have nothing to fear.
So sometimes I wonder, is it only that government officials, or is also in the private sector?
Cassius, charity begins at home. Right? In a person's life, if they do not have fear for the Creator, what do you expect them to do?
Sometimes you does that and ask for mercy.
Oh, so you think you can use the grace
as a license? I think they always say this is what we will do, and then we know this is
that is a lazy argument.
So we have few minutes to go. This Western Cluster deal is something that we feel is supposed to benefit our people in Bomi County, in Kedmont, in Baporu. Just imagine Masorado County will be included. So I'm told that these counties are supposed to benefit. And the minister was coerced to explain, to give the amount that each county is supposed to receive. He was glittering, and he could not really give a specific amount that each county is supposed to receive. I don't know whether there is a gameplay, or there will be a gameplay, or there is something in the pipeline for a game being played. So the Western Cluster deal, but the president of the Liberian Senate, the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, and the president of the Liberian Senate, these people were very care and concerned about the Liberian people on the Western Cluster deal, because you cannot do away with Grand Cayman County, you cannot do away with Bomi County, you cannot do away with Bapodu County that you say you have in Liberia. So he believed, or they believe, that these people are part of the country and they're supposed to benefit. So the president said, you guys will live on the oath. You guys will live on the oath until your next appearance. So we have to see them appearance again. Probably one good thing I love about the Liberian Senate is that there is no secret session, what we call the executive. There is no executive. In fact, even confirmation hearing now have been open, something almost like session activities. If that person will lead, because what I saw this one time, that person sometimes will lead to where they are and they discuss it, like they have a regular session, they put on an agenda, they discuss it. Then before that, all those that will nominate that identical individual to serve in that position, if they are highest than those that go against that individual, then they will do the communication, send the communication to that person's office. So that's how the Liberian Senate proceeding, because they feel that they are the horse of errors. So it's one of the best way to also do when it comes to that. So I like to say kudos to the Liberian Senate for the work being done, and I continue on your best. So the Western Cluster deal, the president said he gave a mandate that there will be, as of that date, that there will be no oath taken from those counties. There will be no operational work going on in those counties until the referendum can be done. So then yesterday again, a rate of prohibition came. So it raises serious concerns as well. So we are so much concerned of our Liberian people. This is what we do here to bring you all the happiness. We are glad that the Western Cluster deal, as per what we witnessed at the Liberian Senate and what we heard, that there will be no operation until the referendum is being done. So those of you that have been watching us on this premium platform, we've been here since 8:30 to 9:30. We came very somehow late, but we were here around 8 to 9, and 9:30 we discussed the EFFL, the Economic Freedom Fighter press statement on yesterday, and our final segment was also on the Western Cluster deal. But I like to say many thanks, and those of you who have been watching us on this premium platform, is 10 o'clock now. We're going to be taking our leave from order here. I'd like to say happy birthday to K Desire Wayward, the cake's mother of mine, and the wife to be of mine as well. I wish you long life. Those of you watching us, like we said when we started our show, since the beginning of this year, we need a sponsorship. Those of you who think it's possible that you can be a blessing to us, like Austin from Minnesota, Aquay, you can also be a blessing to us to be a sponsor of this show. Other guys from Liberia, not only America. Before we get the American people afraid now to come on the show, because we start to just mention them for sponsorship. Sometimes they will get afraid too much to come on the show. But we say all Liberians, all those who watch us or follow us, so it's open.
Yeah.
Your little kind, Josh Robertson as well, your little kind who help us move this platform. We want to see ourselves sometimes carrying the real issues in the community to get the views of our citizens as we await the elections. We would like to move the real issues to other countries. So we appreciate a support, sponsorship also for this program. So I'd like to say many thanks to those of you who've been watching us on this premium platform. I've been Jay Cassius, the the veteran Riato on the premium platform and on the real issues here. Many thanks for watching us. The next time you see me live on the screen here in our cousin studio in our Twitch return, it's going to be on the Friday edition of the program, The Real Issues. Many thanks for watching us.
And of course, that was the voice of the man Jay Cassius Riato. So my name is Thomas Blackswa, and let's take this one. This is so special, and I thought of bringing it up to you, and it's called You Found Me.
Since that day, the moment and hour you came in my life, God, it has never been the same. Oh no, but you changed everything. Oh, and you blessed everything. Oh, I'm on a journey, I pose low. Come and leave your voice. Since that day, the moments just wanna know you. Say I'm so glad you found me. It is a privilege. I'm so glad you found me. From the place of nowhere. I'm so glad you found me. I'm all yours. I'm all yours. Come on, say it. And the more that I know you, I just wanna know you, Jesus. I just wanna know you. But you stood up. There was a call in heaven. Who can go and redeem mankind? You stood up. Come on, Christ, say there was a call in heaven. Who can go and redeem mankind? But you stood up, said there was a call. Who can go and redeem mankind? You stood up, said there was a call. Who can go and redeem mankind? You stood up, you stood up. There was a call in heaven. Who can go and redeem mankind? Put your four hands all together. You stood up, you stood up. Sing for my sake. You stood up. And my iniquities. Now you stood up. You stood up. Call his name. Jesus. Call his name. Jesus. Say call his name. Jesus. I'm so glad. So glad you found me. Oh, I'm so glad, I'm so glad, I'm so glad you found me. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you found me. I'm all yours, I'm all yours, I'm all yours.
Members of the Central Revolutionary Council of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, we are glad to be here today to respond as part of our tradition to the unsophisticated statement released by George Manuel Weah as President of our nation to the National Legislature. Fellow citizens, as we gather, we can all say that Liberia witnessed a sad event on Monday, when the man who should be the president of our country took the podium to utter an unrealistic expressions about what is happening in our country, when he delivered what he called the State of the Nation address. The Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia believe that the President's State of the Nation address was unrealistic expressions and a disjointed logic uttered at a state-style funeral service for a man who committed genocide in our country. We believe the occurrences of the legislature by men and women from the CDC who became a cheering scribe at the national legislature were no other event but a state funeral that engulfed our nation. And we believe that theater, that should be a theater of godly men and women who believe in the interests of our country, should not be abused, and it has been consistently abused by George Manuel Weah as president of our nation. Fellow citizens, we are aware that the event that occurred on Monday is a constitutional requirement for any president. But regrettably, we have a president who chose to merry-make at that event instead of giving a practical, all realistic presentation of what is happening in our country. The president informed the country that his economy is doing well. What a myth. What data informed the president's position that our economy is doing well? Is the president relying on the imperialist analysis from the IMF that states that the government is doing well? What informed the IMF decision? When hundreds of our people are going to bed without food, when millions of our children are going to bed without food, when mothers in this country cannot take their children to hospitals, when fathers cannot even afford to send their kids to school, what informed the president's decision to say that the economy is doing well? We believe that the president's declaration that the country's economy is performing is devilish in nature and unpatriotic at the high core. And that statement should have been resisted by men and women in the legislature who consider themselves the representative of the people. To watch the president make some utterances of the legislature without a swift rebuttal from men and women who should be questioning the president of some of the things he said at the legislature, we believe that situation rendered the national legislature and the event that occurred at the national legislature as a state funeral. Fellow citizens, members of the media, the president, again, without even giving us an empirical data about how the economy is performing, knowing fully well that the agricultural sector should be a bedrock of the economy, the president did not provide any scientific data to show to us, Liberians and the international partner, that they have succeeded in creating jobs using the agricultural sector. So we are baffled by the president's pronouncement that the economy is doing well without providing us any data. The Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia believe that the president's statement, again, was a devilish one and require state resistance for men and women who are representative of the people in the national legislature. Fellow citizens, members of the press, religious leaders, the student bodies of our country, the president spoke about fighting corruption. We heard that message once again coming from a loose talker who should be a president. The president was loosely in his statements when he said that his government is fighting corruption. Of recent, the United States government sanctioned 3 of the president's close allies up to today because the president is in consistent fear that those who, the United States government sanctions will come after the president if he does not protect them. The president is on record of using state money to finance these government officials to run for office. How then can the president, in his narrow minds and limited understanding of global events, take the podium at the national legislature to say that his government is fighting corruption? What informed? What provides the president with such courage to stand before the people representative to say that his government is fighting corruption? When in fact the reason the president and the rest of the other people butchered the Liberian Constitution to weaken the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. When in fact the Supreme Court, that should be the foundation of our judicial system, is being bankrolled to undermine the Constitution of our country. Today, the laws of our state now can be retroactive when the Constitution is clear that laws cannot be retroactive. What informed the president's decision to waste our time for 3 good hours to say that his government is fighting corruption? Fellow citizens, we believe strongly that the president played mockery out of the Liberian people by wasting our times to talk about his country, his government is fighting corruption. The president government was never fighting corruption and will never fight corruption, because they have shown us no indication whatsoever that they believe in the fight against corruption. Fellow citizens, members of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, the 4th Estates, the president said he took steps to heal the wounds of our nation. Again, what a myth. How can the president have the audacity to say that he helped to heal the wounds of our country when the